for joining me on the mat this week. We are focusing on our core, so basically anything from the diaphragm to just below the hip complex. We're talking left, right, front, back, and everything in between. Again, like I was mentioning on Tuesday, I want you to be particularly conscious of breathing through your belly. Okay, so as we draw the breath in and out through the nose, I want you to try and get it as deep as you can into the belly. So we're using the breath to mobilize the core. So we're trying to create space within the core, and then we're going to try to engage with those muscles. Okay, so there's no point in doing all this strength work if the muscles actually aren't ready for it. So you could have what feels like strong muscles, but actually they're so tight that they're kind of disengaging. They're not actually switching on when you want them to switch on. So we do a little bit of mobilization to start with. We'll keep bringing it in through the class, and then we'll have a lovely, strong enough core flow then this morning on the mat. So meeting in a nice, easy cross-legged seat. Again, we'll just start by mobilizing. And again, we will be looking at the hips. So if we're trying to engage with the core, the hips are very much part of that. So we'll be looking about creating a little bit of space in the hips and also engagement in those stabilizing hip muscles. So we'll open the palms, sit nice and tall, draw the belly in, roll the shoulders back. And just notice if the rib cage is flaring, just suck the belly button in a little bit more. And I'll say that a lot in this morning's class. So we're tucking the belly in, almost like we're imagining the belly button wanting to press into the spine, helping engage both in the front and the back of the core. We'll inhale, the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling, and then exhale, press the palms forward, really stretch between the shoulder blades. And we'll do that 2 more times. So a nice big stretch as we take the gaze up. And then exhale, press forward and release. So we'll do that 1 more time. Lovely. We're going to extend both legs out front. Again, get nice and comfy in the sit bones. Draw the toes toward the knees. And again, I want you to really try to engage with those core muscles. So notice if we're kind of rounding, if we're slumping, gently press the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. We're going to hug the right knee in until the foot's in line with the left, and then shift the hips forward to meet that heel. So we're maintaining that lovely length. Cross the right leg over the left. Extending the left arm out, we're going to wrap it around the right leg and really hug it into the body and feel that lovely release into the right hip. And if we want to go deeper in the hips, we're going to bend the left knee and tuck the heel nice and close to the sit bone. Just make sure both sit bones are grounded to the earth. We're going to inhale the right arm up, draw the belly in. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to the right. We're going to drop that right heel of the hand nice and close to the lower back. As we inhale, press the right hand into the ground, draw the belly in a little bit more. And as we exhale, we're going to twist from the lower back into the ribcage, into the chest, and take a little look over that right shoulder. So every inhale, we're thinking about length, really wringing out the spine here. And as we exhale, we're twisting, releasing, opening the heart to the side of the room. If we want to go deeper into the twist, we might get the left arm, cross it over the body to the right, bend the left elbow and hook it to the outside of the leg. So you'll automatically get that extra little bit of leverage. We're going to inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, twist. 1 more breath here. Feel that nice release into the right glute. And then slowly inhale back to center. Small little micro twist to the left, just release. And then back to center again. If the heel's tucked in, we'll tuck it back out. We're going to hug the right knee in. Place the sole of the foot nice and close to the inner thigh. We're going to bring the right hand behind us. Inhale the left arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to press the right hand, right knee, left foot firmly into the ground. Really reach back through those left fingertips and maybe take the gaze back toward the fingertips. So as we inhale, we're reaching. As we exhale, we're going to lift those hips a little bit higher. I want you to imagine someone's about to drop something on your belly and you're trying to resist. So really drawing those belly buttons in, taking the pressure off the lower back for 1 more breath. And then slowly release all the way back to seat. Extending that right leg out to meet left. And again, get nice and comfy in the sit bones. We'll hug the left knee in just until the foot's in line with the right. Shift the hips forward to meet it. Crossing the left leg over the right and really bringing that heel as close to the body as we can. We'll extend the right arm out, wrap it around the body, drawing the belly in so we're creating as much space to hug that leg in. Bend the right knee if you want to go deeper into the hips, but again, just make sure both hips are grounded. We're going to inhale, left arm up. And as we exhale, gently twist to the left, resting the heel of the left hand close to the lower back. So really close, make sure we're not collapsing back into that left arm. It's just there as a little reminder to sit tall as we inhale And as we exhale, again, working that twist from the lower back all the way up out through the neck. As we take a look over that left shoulder, I want you to really draw that left shoulder back. So we're almost trying to get the front of the body parallel to the left side of the room here. Every inhale, lengthening tall. And every exhale, see if we can twist and release a little bit more. If you want to go deeper into the twist, we can cross that right arm over the body, bend the right elbow, and hook it to the outside of the leg. Palm faces the left side of the room. As we inhale, sit tall. As we exhale, twist and release. Really squeezing out all that bad energy, making space for a little bit of good today. So nice big stretch as we inhale, and twist and release as we exhale. Slowly twisting our way back to center, a little twist to the right just to release it. And then back to center again. If the heel's tucked in, we'll straighten that right leg out. Hugging the left knee and we place the sole of the foot to the inner leg. Left hand comes behind. We're going to inhale the right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to press the left hand, left knee, right foot into the ground. Lift those hips as high as we can. Reach back through that right arm. We're really reaching through those fingertips and maybe take the gaze up toward the fingers. As we inhale, we're lengthening that full right side of the body. As we exhale, we're pressing the hips a little bit higher. We're really stretching into the front of the core here. Still drawing the belly in, so we're not compressing into that lower back. We take two more nice big belly breaths here. Use the breath to mobilize into the core just a little bit more. And then slowly release all the way back to seat. Tucking that right heel in, we're going to come to lie on our mats. Just make sure you have your strap and your block within reach. Lovely. So lying back onto the ground, knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug that right knee in, extend the left foot fully out. Keeping the left hand on the shin, right arm extends out in line with the shoulder. We'll shift the hips a little bit to the right, and then we'll draw that right leg across the body to the left. Placing the left hand on the outer leg, and we're looking over toward those right fingertips. So ideally we have that right hip stacked on top of the left. If not, just shift the hips a wee bit more to the right. So we're really working into that twist, and we're gluing that right shoulder to the ground. Knee is up in line with the hips, so we should feel a nice release in the glutes. As we inhale, draw a nice, deep, big belly breath. And as we exhale, see if we can twist and release a little bit more. If you want to bonus release into that left hip, we're going to bend the left knee, walk the foot as far to the right as we can. We might even get that right hand and catch hold of the foot, or maybe wrap a strap or a towel around the front of the foot. If we've caught hold of it, keep drawing the right shoulder down and keep drawing that right leg across the body. So again, nice big belly breaths here. If we have caught hold of the foot, we're pressing the foot into the hand and just feeling that extra little sensation into the front of the left hip and quad. Again, nice big belly breaths here. One more. Releasing the grip, we'll extend that leg out, right arm extends back out and slowly release back to center. Both knees are hugged in. We're going to keep the left hand on the shin, extend the right arm or the right foot out. Right hand rests on the shin, left arm extends out in line with the shoulder. We'll shift the hips a little bit to the left this time and then draw that left leg across the body. Resting the right hand on the outer thigh, we look over that left shoulder. Keeping the left shoulder grounded, nice big belly breaths here. And again, feeling that release in the left glutes. So it's not about that left knee touching the ground. If the left shoulder's coming off the ground, I want you to draw it right back down. So we're feeling that twist the full length of the spine. Again, if you want a little bonus stretch, we're going to bend the right knee and walk that right foot as far to the left as we can. We can stay here, or we might get the hand or towel, holding on to the outer side of that left foot. And if we've gotten that grip, we're going to press the foot into the hand or into the towel or strap. A little extra stretch here into our quad and into that right hip. Nice big belly breaths. Paying particular focus to the breath as we exhale through the nose. I want you to imagine using those core muscles to squeeze every last little bit of stale air and energy out of the body. Release the grip, left arm extends back out, right foot extends back out. And we'll slowly inhale back to center. Hug both knees in, give them a nice little squeeze. And then we're going to rest both feet to the ground. So we're going to repeat a little sequence we did on Tuesday. It's one of my favorites for the core. So for those of you who missed it, you'll be happy. So we're going to use our block or our block-like object for this. If you don't have a block, I can show you variations. We're going to hug the right knee in, and we're going to get the short end of the block, place it just above the right knee, getting the right elbow and hooking that block in place. And options here, we can either rest the fingertips to the temple of the head, or if we want a little bit of upper core engagement, we're going to press the chest toward the ceiling. So the head will lift, but we're not stressing out the neck. Okay, so full movement in that neck, and then rest the base of the skull into that right hand. Left hand rests in the belly, and already you should feel those core muscles engaged. We're going to try to keep pressing that lower back into the ground. So if a gap emerges, I want you to either put the leg up or lower it until you can maintain that connection. From here, we're going to extend the left leg and press away through the left heel. So again, we're really strong here in the core. And again, we can stay here holding the pose. And notice here, as you drop the left heel, you'll probably start to feel a little bit of space underneath the lower back. So just lift the leg until you can maintain that connection. We're going to inhale knees together. And as we exhale, press away through that left heel. And continue with your own breath. So again, strong core, slow, controlled movement. And again, if you're feeling it in the neck, simply place the tongue to the top of the mouth, and that'll help release the neck muscles. And again, if it's still feeling quite stressy, take the head to the ground and just focus on that middle and lower core, or maybe just do a few breaths, take a break, and then continue again. So again, nice, slow, controlled movement. Really feeling that core connect, both front and back. Slowly we meet back with knees together. Release the head, release the feet, release the back. We bring the feet about the width of the man apart, allow the knees knock together, and really press that lower back into the ground. So this is a lovely little hip release without having to do much effort. We're going to bring the arms out into cactus arms, so like opposite L's facing each other, and gently walk the shoulder blades together. So feel the space into the chest. Make sure those hands are rested on the ground, even if you need to take them a wee bit wider. We'll inhale center, and as we exhale, drop both knees over to the right as much as we can. So make sure there's enough space between the feet that that left knee can drop behind the right foot, and then see if we can get that right foot and place it to the outer leg. So we're just getting a nice little release into the side body, into the left hip, the outer leg. Nice big belly breaths here for 3. For 2. And 1. Drop the right foot down, slowly inhale back to center, and then exhale, both knees over to the left. Again, really pressing them toward the ground. Getting that left foot, resting it to the outer thigh. If we can, again, don't force it. Gaze goes over the right shoulder. And again, the weight of that foot is bringing us a little bit deeper into that stretch, into the front of the core, the side of that, the right side of the body, and into that hip. For 3. Nice big belly breaths. For 2. And 1. Release that left foot, slowly coming back to center. Again, feet are flat, knees are bent, knees together, feet together. Hug the left knee in, just enough so we can place the shorter end of the block just above that left knee, hooking it in place using the left elbow. Right hand rests on the belly. And again, we can either rest the fingertips to the temple of the head, or if you want upper core, press the chest. So lift the chest toward the ceiling and rest the base of the head into that left hand. And again, we can stay here. This is core engagement in itself, pressing the lower back into the ground. If you want to go a little bit more, we're going to straighten that right leg, hovering it just about 30 to 45 degrees off the ground. But again, make sure there's no gap underneath that lower back. So if you need to lift the leg a little bit higher, do so. Actively pressing away through that right heel. We're going to inhale, knees together. And then exhale, press it out. And continue with your own breath. So really slowly. The slower, the more engagement we're going to get in those core muscles. So not that it's easy, but it's a lot easier just to pulse it out, pulse it in without consciously engaging those muscles. So we're slowing the movement right down. Starting to feel that nice warm feeling into the core. So we're generating our own inner heat here. Nice and slow. Again, keep pressing from the chest, not the neck. We're not tugging on that neck at all. 2 more. Last one. And we'll be with both knees together. Rest the head, rest the feet down, rest the block off to the side. Again, feet width of the mat, or maybe even a little bit wider apart, knees knocked together. Arms into cactus, open into the heart, where you draw those shoulder blades together and connect the full length of the spine to the ground. We'll inhale center. And as we exhale, drop the knees to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, drop up knees to the left as we look to the right. And continue gently, windscreen wipering those knees side to side, drawing them as close to the ground as we can until we feel that lovely release into the core, into the side waist, into the glutes, maybe even a little bit into those ITBs, an area we don't stretch so much into, but it's just a nice little release here into that tendon. Relax the breath, nice big belly breaths. And then gently coming back to center. Again, feet together, knees together, knees are bent. We'll have both knees in this time, holding on to either short side of the block, place it just above the knees and hooking that block in place. So again, if you don't have a block, you can always bring the hands to rest at the base of the head and just work those elbows toward the ground, same as in the last pose. Lovely. So again, we can either have fingertips to temples or lift from the chest and rest the base of the skull into those hands. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, press out through the right heel. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, press it out through the left, and continue with your own breath. So again, that leg is hovering between 30 to 45 degrees off the ground. We're pressing the lower back strongly into the mat. And those legs are really active. So the challenge here is to keep that block from dropping. So it's just an extra little bit of focus. And again, if you don't have the block, just keep drawing those elbows back toward the ground. So we're getting a nice little bit of heart space as we work into the core. No stress in the neck again here. We'll do one more, both sides. Last one. Gently release the head, gently release the feet, release the block off to the side. We're going to do a counter pose using our bridge. So again, we might pick up the block, place it between the knees, pressing the knees into the block. Hands are on the ground. See if we can brush the backs of the heels or as close as possible. So those feet are just the hip width distance apart, they're not splayed out. And then from here, we're going to gently pressing the knees into the block. We're going to press the feet into the floor, peeling the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground. See if we can walk the shoulder blades together. And we might even interlock those fingers into a little fist grip. And see if we can press that fist into the ground, getting a little bit more height. As we work the shoulder blades together, we shouldn't feel any pressure or stress in the neck. Drawing the belly button in, again, really tightening into the core here. Imagining somebody's about to drop something on your belly. You're trying to resist. So again, we just hold it this time for 3. Lift the hips a little bit higher for 2. And 1. Gently release all the way down to the ground. Lovely. We'll do one last one in this sequence. So I'm going to get you to keep the block if you have it, or a block-like object between the knees. We're going to get the hands, we're going to place them to the base of the skull, and we're going to work those elbows toward the ground. And then from here, see if we can lift from the chest. So again, we're not tugging at the neck. Neck is nice and relaxed. So we're lifting from the chest. Feel those upper core muscles engage, keeping the lower back pressed into the ground. And then from here, we're going to straighten those legs. So we're hovering them off the ground about 30 to 45 degrees, wherever we're at, making sure that lower back is pressed into the ground. We're going to inhale, knees in as we lift through the chest a little bit more. And as we exhale, press out through the heels and slightly lower the head, not all the way to the ground. Inhale it in. Exhale, straighten the legs out. Continue with your own breath. So we're trying to keep those feet hovered off the ground. If you need to touch down in between, listen to your own body here. And again, we're pressing the chest. We're not tugging on the neck. We'll do 2 more. Again, take a break if you need to. Last one. Meeting with knees tucked in, we're going to rest the head, remove the block, rest the feet down. Lovely. Again, bringing those feet hip width distance apart. This time we're going to hug the knees into the chest. So knees are wide, heels are wide, hands rested on the shin, lower back connected to the ground. As we inhale, press shins into hands. And as we exhale, work those knees apart just a little bit more. So getting a wee bit of hip space here in our happy baby variation. If we want to go a little bit deeper into that hip space, we're going to bring the soles of the feet parallel or almost parallel to the ceiling, holding on to calf, shins, ankles, inner arches of the feet, or maybe interlocking the middle and index finger around the big toes. Again, make sure we're nice and stable in that lower back. So even if it means dropping the heels until we can connect and then see if we can draw them back up. We're going to inhale, press soles of the feet toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, draw those knees down toward the ground. So each inhale, we're activating. And each exhale, we're releasing. All the time, working those heels apart. If the hips are already quite spacious, the elbows might come inside the knees. So we have an extra little prop to get into the hip space. Again, don't force those hips open, particularly first thing in the morning. Just take it easy, nice gentle release. One more breath here. Excellent. Hugging the knees in. We're going to rest those feet down. So we're going to work into our bridges a little bit more this morning, as I promised on Tuesday if you were with me. So again, feet are flat, knees are bent. And then we're going to see if we can reach for the heels. So brush the fingertips for the heels. Knees together this time, feet together. Okay, so nice and strong. We're going to press the feet into the ground and gently peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground. Work the shoulder blades together. So again, taking the pressure off the head and neck here. Press the hands, arms, shoulders firmly into the ground. Press the feet into the ground. Lifting the hips. I want you to imagine a nice straight line from the belly button right up through to the neck. Okay. And again, we can hold it here. Otherwise, we're going to straighten that right leg. Keep lifting the hips. As we inhale, we're going to lift that right foot so that the sole of the foot's parallel to the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to lower the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the ground. Inhale, press up. This time as we exhale, we're going to bring both knees together. Keep the right leg straight if we can. Inhale, sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. Exhale, drop the hips, hovering just off the ground. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower that right leg till the knees are touching. Inhale, sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. Exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, press up. Exhale, knees together. We do one more. Inhale, sole of the foot to the ceiling. Exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knees together. And then slowly drop that right foot down, gently release the hips all the way down to the ground. Hug the knees in, give them a nice little squeeze. Maybe make a few little circles, 3 or 4 to the right on that lower back, releasing those glutes, and then in the opposite direction. So our planks are a really lovely holistic way of getting into that core area. We're strengthening both front and back of the core here. We're also working into those legs. So again, we're going to drop the feet, knees together, feet together, knees are bent. See if we can brush the fingertips to the backs of those heels. And again, pressing the feet actively into the ground, peeling the lower back, middle back, upper back off the ground, lift the hips toward the ceiling. We're going to walk those shoulder blades together. So again, opening into the heart here, no pressure on the neck. Press the hands, arms, shoulders into the ground. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Again, imagining somebody's about to drop something on your belly and you're trying to resist. We can stay here or we can extend that left leg out. So we're really active, press the way through the left heel, draw the toes toward the face, keep the hips lifted. We're going to inhale, lift that left leg up, sole of the foot parallel to the ceiling. Exhale, lower the hips, hovering just off the ground. Inhale, press up. Exhale, knees together. Keep that left leg straight. Inhale, sole of the foot to the ceiling. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up. Exhale, knees together. We'll do one more. Keep pressing that right foot strongly into the ground. Left foot comes back to beat right and gently lower all the way down to the ground. Again, hugging both knees in, give them a nice little squeeze and take a few little circles, 3 or 4 to the left and 3 or 4 to the right. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. And then coming back to stillness at center. We're going to crisscross at the ankles. Options to make your way any way to seat, or we can rock and roll together, forward and back along the mat, using the motion to massage the full length of the spine into the ground. Using that lovely strong core connection to draw ourselves into seat each time. When we've done this 3 or 4 times, we're going to meet in a nice strong seat at the front of the mat. And again, like we did on Tuesday, we're going to work a little bit into our boat pose this morning. So bringing the feet out in front, knees are bent, feet are flat. Knees are together, feet are together, and we're going to hug the knees in, draw the heels toward the bum, sit bones toward the heels as tight as we can, and then see if we can wrap the arms around those shins, either holding on to opposite elbows or opposite forearms. And again, notice here for collapsing. So what we want to do here is draw the belly in, imagining that piece of string attached to the crown of your head, drawing you toward the ceiling. So we're trying to maintain a lovely long spine here, a nice strong core. And we're going to keep that length, we're going to keep that strength. And then we're going to release the grip, step the feet out in front. So again, we're trying not to collapse, keep that nice connection. Knees together, feet together, arms extended out in front, palms face each other. And we're gently falling back, leaning back into our boat. Make sure to keep pressing the chest forward, drawing the shoulders back and not collapse. No rounding here if we can. Coming up onto the tippy toes. And again, we can stay here. We might alternate legs, so opposite shins parallel to the ceiling, or we might bring both shins together, holding it here wherever you are, or alternating legs for 3. Keep lifting the chest for 2. And 1. Crisscross at the ankles and gently fall forward into our fold. Relax the head, relax the neck, relax the breath. Just taking a little breather here before our next one. When you're ready, we're going to tuck the chin in and gently come back up to seat. Again, feet out front, knees are bent. Feet together, knees together, nice strong core engagement. Extend the arms out, palms face each other, and then gently lean back into our boat. Nice strong breaths, draw the shoulders. And again, when we feel like we're about to fall, those feet start to hover off the ground, we're going to come to the tippy toes. And again, we can alternate shins parallel to the ceiling. We can bring both shins together, or we might hug the left knee in and press away through that right foot without falling. So really active through that right leg, lift the chest, draw the belly in, and then we'll inhale knees together. And then keeping that right knee hugged in, see if we can press out through the left. And continue. Inhale, knees together. Exhale it to the right. Inhale, knees together. Exhale it to the left. And continue 1 more, both sides. Keep lifting from the chest. Nice and strong. Knees together, crisscross at the ankles and fold forward. And release. Again, not my favorite pose, I have to be honest, but again, a really good one for developing strong core muscles, particularly in the spine and particularly into that lower back. Relax the head, relax the neck. We've got 1 more in this sequence. Gently tuck the chin in, slowly rise back up to seat. And when you're working on your own core practice, you're welcome to do more of these or hold the pose for a little bit longer if you're really trying to develop that area. So this morning I'm just kind of showing you, but again, you can feel free to spend a little bit more time with this in your own time. So again, nice and strong, knees are together, feet are together, arms extended out, palms face each other, draw the shoulders back, press the chest forward and gently lean. As we lean, start to feel a little bit of lightness in those feet coming up onto the tippy toes. Again, trying not to collapse or round into the spine. Keep drawing the belly in. Alternating shins to the ceiling, both shins together. Keep drawing the belly in, or if you wish, I don't know if I'm there this morning, but you can straighten those legs, either pressing away through the heels or pointing through the toes, whatever feels good. Lift the chest, draw those shoulders back for 3, for 2, and 1. Crisscross of the ankles and gently fold. Release the head, release the breath, release the neck. So that last one can be quite tricky if the hips or the glutes are a little bit tight. So again, just listen to the body. Also, if the hamstrings are a little bit tight, it can also be quite challenging. So it's not all just about those core muscles. You might still be able to engage, just slightly altered. We're going to tuck the chin in and slowly roll back up to seat. Little counter pose for all that core work. We're going to sit back onto our mats, extend those legs out in front, and just give them a little shake, just getting a little bit of blood flow and energy back into those legs. We have 2 options for the next pose. So first one, knees are bent, feet are flat. We might actually use our block for this one just to get a wee bit of engagement with those legs. So we're going to press the block in between the knees, pressing the knees into the block and feel those inner thighs engage. Hands are back by the sides. And again, depending on that arm length, they might be up in line with the sit bones, or they might be slightly behind if the arms are a little bit longer, or if the arms are particularly short, you might need to like block like objects just to get a little bit lengthier. You should be okay for this one. Okay, fingers point forward. Again, notice if we're collapsing, I want you to press the ground away, draw the shoulders back, lift the chest forward. Press the feet into the ground, and we're going to gently lift the hips toward the ceiling, coming into our reverse table. So again, we can stay here, or if we want to try something a little bit different, we're going to straighten the legs out, but keep the feet flat, lift the hips, and then see if we can walk those feet out a little bit more. So the legs are a little bit straighter, we're still lifting from the hips, still lifting from the chest, and we're just going to hold it here this morning for 3. Neck is relaxed for 2. And 1, slowly release all the way down to the ground. And we can remove that block off to the side. We're going to crisscross at the ankles. Bringing those hands forward to the front of the mat and gently step back onto the knees, coming into a nice strong tabletop this morning. Fingers are widely spread, shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward. We're going to press the ground away until we feel that space between the shoulders. Knees hip width distance apart and hips are stacked over knees. Ankles, feet can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels good. We're going to inhale, draw the chest forward as we take the gaze up and arch the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, really tuck the chin in and continue with your own breath. Nice little wave-like movement. Keep those elbow creases facing forward and keep a little softness and springiness to the elbows. So trying to get rid of any rigidity that's stalling our movement here. Making it flowy, organic, close down the eyes and just really engage with the movement. So again, forget about what it looks like and just enjoy that movement within the body. Lovely way of clearing space throughout the full length of the spine, working into every little part of the core here. Meeting back at center in our tabletop. From here, just make sure you have a nice little bit of clear space out front and behind. So we're going to be extending those legs and arms in a second. Knees are hip width distance apart. Right hand stays grounded, just make sure that shoulder is stacked over the wrist. We're going to extend the left arm out and press back through the right foot. So options here to keep the left hand on the ground if it feels a little bit unstable this morning. Gaze is relaxed. We're going to inhale, left elbow, right knee into touch. And then exhale, extend both foot and arm out. Inhale, slowly in. Exhale, press it out. Lifting that leg as much as we can. Continue with your own breath. If you want to challenge the balance, we can follow that left hand forward. And then as we draw in, we're bringing that gaze to the left elbow. So we're inhaling, gaze goes forward. Exhaling, gaze goes back. 3 more. Really lifting that right leg so we feel both the glute and hamstring engage. Last one. Meeting an extension. We're going to rest that left hand down, landing on the ball of the right foot. Press away through the right heel for 3. For 2. And 1. We're going to drop the right heel down, swiveling on the left knee. We're going to bring that left foot behind us. And then we're going to press the outer blade of that right foot into the ground, bring the right hand to the waist. Notice if we're collapsing, we might need to come up onto the fingertips or even onto a block. So we're creating space into the front of the body. We're going to inhale the right arm up. And as we exhale, extend that right arm overhead. Working a little bit into the side core here. We're going to inhale right elbow, right knee into touch. And as we exhale, press away through the right heel, hovering the foot off the ground as we extend that right arm overhead. Inhale, elbow to knee in. Exhale, extend it out and continue with your own breath. If you want to challenge the balance, we're following the middle finger of that right hand with the gaze. Keep drawing the arm back in line with the ear, so we're not reaching out to the right. We're reaching toward the front of the room and we're really feeling that stretch into the side waist. Last one. We're going to meet an extension. Rest the right foot down. We're going to bring that right hand back to the ground. Swivel on the left knee, and then we bring that right knee in to meet left. Same deal on the other side. This time the left hand stays grounded, shoulders stacked over the wrist. Extend that right arm forward. We're going to press back through the left foot, really pressing through the heel. Notice if the belly's collapsed here, I want you to suck the belly button in, feel that lower back engage, and then you might need to re-engage that left glute to get the leg to lift. We're going to inhale, right elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, extend it out. Again, we can take the gaze forward as we extend the arm and back as we draw elbow and knee together, your choice. Or just pick a spot on the mat and relax the neck. Working with your own breath. Again, we're making sure to lift that left leg back and slightly up until we feel those glutes engage. The slower, the better. So we're really engaging with those intrinsic stabilizing muscles. Really good one for the balance here. And again, if it feels too much, feel free to bring that right hand back to the ground. 1 more. Meeting an extension, we're going to drop the right hand down, landing on the ball of the left foot, press away through the heel for 3. For 2. And 1, drop the left heel down, swivel on the right knee, that right foot comes behind us. We're going to bring the left hand to the waist. We're going to draw the shoulders back, press the hips forward, open into the heart, press the outer blade of that left foot into the ground. Inhale, left arm up. As we exhale, extend that left arm overhead, almost like we want to reach something to the front of the room. So that arm is right back in line with the ear. We're going to inhale, knee and elbow together. Exhale, extend it out, pressing away through the left heel, hovering it off the ground. Inhale, really slowly in. Exhale, stretch it out. And continue with your own breath. If you want to challenge the balance, we're following the middle finger on that left hand with the gaze. And as we stretch it out, I want you to imagine somebody's literally pulling you by the heel and somebody's pulling you by the fingertips. So you're really stretching that sideways out. So a lovely counter pose to that crunch. Last 2. Last 1. Meeting an extension, we're going to rest the left foot down. Rest the left hand back to meet right, swivel on the right knee, and then back into our tabletop. Walking those hands forward to the front of the mat. We're going to gently sit back toward the heels. Rest the forehead to the ground, or if it doesn't quite get there, rest it onto a block, rolled up towel. Just make sure the head and neck are supported here and it's not just hanging out. Taking a couple of moments here in your child's pose. You can even soften at the elbows if you want to take a little space here for the shoulders and arms. And just reconnecting with the breath. So notice here, sometimes when the body's under pressure, we tend to start breathing back into the chest. So I want you to create a little bit of space into that belly and work that breath as deep as you can. Nice full body breaths here. Utilizing that breath to really mobilize into the core of the body. So feel the rib cage expand, feel the diaphragm lift, feel that space between the shoulders. When you're ready, again, we're going to flatten those hands out. Gently shift the body weight forward, just enough that we can tuck both toes under, sit back toward the heels, so still in our child's pose, but with those toes tucked, and feel that lovely stretch into the feet. And then from here, we're going to press the finger pads and knuckles into the ground. Gently lift the knees off the mat, lift the hips toward the ceiling, and then slowly lower those heels down toward the ground, coming into our downward dog, or a little upside down V. We're pressing the ground away. See if you can get the chest a little bit closer toward the mat. Gaze is back toward the knees. So if we're looking forward, we're going to find it really hard to open into that shoulder space. So gaze is back. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Drop the heels a little bit lower. And just gently paddle out the feet. And then opposite heels melt slowly toward the ground. Relax the head, relax the neck. We're going to look forward between the hands and gently walk our way to the front of the mat. Coming to a nice wide-legged forward fold here. Just allow everything hang out, head, neck, arms, shoulders release. Little softness to the knees, releasing into that lower back. And then we're going to gently tuck the chin in and slowly roll away all the way up to stand. Head comes up last. Lovely. Take a little drink here if you need. Definitely feeling the heat this morning. So we've spent quite a lot of time there on the mat, mobilizing, engaging quite a lot, and now we're just going to flow it out with a nice strong core practice. Meeting at the front of the mat. Feet are flat, about hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Draw the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, and just really suck the belly button in until we can feel those lower back muscles engage. Relax the breath, relax the gaze. And when you're ready, we'll inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge. Right knee on or off the ground. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Into that fingers kiss and just above the left knee. So remember, you can drop to that right knee, particularly if that back leg is shaking. We're going to draw the shoulders back, press back to the heel. As we inhale, lengthen, draw the belly in. As we exhale, sink and release those hips. We do two more here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release the hips. One more. Lovely. Both hands frame the left foot. We're going to step the left foot back to meet right into our plank. Nice and strong here. Shoulders over elbows over wrists. Elbow creases face forward. We're literally pressing the ground away. Try to keep those hips in a nice straight line from the base of the neck through to the heels. So we don't want them dropping. We don't want the bum up in the air. If it feels too strong on the shoulders or anywhere in between, drop to the knees. But again, make that straight line from the base of the neck through to the knees. So again, hips aren't dropping, bum's not popping up. We're just holding it for the first round. For 3, gaze is relaxed. For 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest chin to the ground, elbows tucked in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground, lift the chest as we draw the shoulders back. Keep that lift. We're going to hover the hands off the ground, so try not to collapse the body here. Really strong in the lower back for 3. For 2, and 1, release the hands, tuck the toes under, press the ground away, lift the hips, downward dog. And again, options here to maintain stillness in our downward dog, or we can walk it out. Keep the feet nice and wide, so we're getting a little bit of hip space here this morning. Relax the head, relax the neck, relax the breath. One more breath here. So we're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward. Bend the right knee. We're going to step that right foot forward into lunge. Slow and controlled, as many steps as you need. Left foot to meet it. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back, as far back as we can go. Fingertips in line with the toes. Left knee can be on or off the ground here. Nice and strong. Right knee stacked over the ankle. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the right knee. We're going to inhale, lengthen as we draw the belly in, round those shoulders back. And as we exhale, release those hips. 3 more breaths here. Keep drawing the belly in so we're not compressing into that lower back. And drop to that left knee if you feel any instability here at all. Last one. We're going to frame that right foot with both hands. Step the right foot back to meet left. Nice strong plank. This time we're going to come onto our forearms. So with control, coming down onto the left and the right in any order. We're pressing the hands and forearms into the ground. Make sure those shoulders are stacked over the elbows. And again, we're just going to hold it here for this round. Press the way through the heels. Again, try not to let the bum pop up or the hips drop. If it feels a little bit too much on the shoulders, drop to the knees, but again, maintain that lovely long spine, that core connect for 3. For 2. And 1, release all the way down to the ground, untuck the toes. So we're into our Sphinx pose here. Again, checking in those shoulders are stacked over the elbows. Make sure not to collapse into the shoulders. So we're pressing the forearms into the ground. We're drawing the shoulders back. Press the feet and legs actively into the ground. Notice if we're compressing into that lower back, I want you to draw the belly in. From here, I want you to feel that you're using that friction between the hands and the mat. You're kind of pressing the ground away. So you're really feeling that engagement in the arms and shoulders. Now, again, we can hold it here for the next few breaths. If you want to go a little bit stronger, we're going to come into our seal pose. So we're going to bring our fingers out like little seal flippers. So splaying through the fingers, bringing them out at an angle. Press them to the ground, and then we're going to press the ground away. Now we're not locking out through the elbows, still a little bit of softness through the elbows. Draw the shoulders back, and again, we're not collapsing into those shoulders, so nice and strong. Draw the belly in. Hold it here. Relax the head, relax the neck for 3. Nice big belly breaths for 2. And 4. Gently release all the way down to the belly. We're going to make a little pillow by putting one hand on top of the other. Rest the forehead and just gently rock the hips side to side. So we're releasing particularly that lower back. Massaging out the core and glutes here too. Relax the breath, relax the shoulders. And then when you're ready, come into stillness. We're going to bring those hands back in line with the chest. Tuck both toes under. We're going to press the ground away nice and strong. Lift the hips. And then again, stillness or walk it out in our downward dog. So again, in our downward dog, we're not in plank. Those feet are a little bit closer toward the hands. So think about a little upside down V here. Actively pressing the ground away until we feel that space between the shoulders. Try to strengthen into the front of the legs. So engaging the front of the legs so we can get an extra little stretch into the backs of the legs without forcing it. We're going to look forward between the hands from stillness. We're going to inhale the left leg up, bend the left knee in, and gently step that left foot forward into lunge. And as many steps as you need. Use that left hand if you need it. Right foot comes to meet, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, we're rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a little drink if you need. And we go into our second round. So again, listen to those shoulders. Use the cue of dropping to the knees if you feel any stress in the shoulders. So it's really important that we don't damage those shoulders when we're trying to strengthen in to the core of the body. When you're ready, meeting at the front. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Take a moment. Draw the belly in, roll the shoulders back. We'll inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping, right foot back to lunge, fingers back in line with that left foot. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the left knee, right knee on or off the ground, roll the shoulders back, draw the belly in. Left knee stays stacked over the ankle. We'll inhale, lengthen, and exhale, sink the hips. So again, knee stays in the same place. All that movement is from the hips. If you want to go deeper, we're shifting that right foot back a little bit further. So that left foot, that left knee stays where it's at. We're going to do one more here. Bringing both hands to frame that left foot, stepping the left foot back to meet right. With control, moving down onto our forearms, we're going to bring that left forearm parallel to the front edge of the mat, coming on to the outer edge of that left foot. We're going to bring the right hand to rest on the waist. Again, shoulders stacked over the elbow. If it feels a little bit too strong in the shoulder, drop to the left knee, but keep pressing those hips toward the ceiling. We're going to inhale the right arm up. This time, we're going to lift those hips a little bit higher. And as we exhale, we're going to lower the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the mat. So we're inhaling, reaching up. Again, you can do this with the right foot off the left, if you want to challenge it a little bit more. So we're working into those side muscles here. With the leg extended, it really challenges the balance. So again, lifting and releasing. One more. Resting the foot down, resting that right hand back to the waist. And then when you're ready, we're going to get the right forearm back to the ground, left forearm parallel. Re-engage with those shoulder muscles. When you feel good and ready, we're going to press our way back up into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest chin to the ground, elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press the ground away, lift the hips. Downward dog. Again, stillness or walk it out, whatever feels good. Nice big belly breath. So coming back to the breath, notice if it started to get caught up in the chest. Draw it nice and deep down into the belly. Strong, controlled breath. From stillness in our downward dog, we're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward. We're going to step that right foot forward into lunge, slow and controlled. Left foot to meet it. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back, as far back as we can go. Keep that right knee over the ankle, left knee on or off the ground. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the right knee. We'll inhale, lengthen as we draw those shoulders back. And exhale, sink the hips. 3 more here. Keep drawing the belly in. As you draw the belly in, you'll feel an extra little release into the front of that left hip. You'll feel the pressure come off the lower back. Last one. Framing that right foot with both hands. We're going to step the right foot back to the left. Slowly with control coming down onto the forearms. We're going to bring that right forearm parallel to the front edge of the mat. Coming over onto the outer blade of that right foot. Right shoulder stacked over the elbow. Again, if it feels too much, drop to the right knee, but keep lifting those hips toward the ceiling. We're going to extend that left arm up. Again, if you did so on the other side, you can always lift that left leg off, the right coming into our star. We're going to inhale, press up, and as we exhale, sink the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the mat. Inhale up, exhale lower. Again, gaze can go up if you want to challenge the balance, or toward the ground if you need a wee bit more stability. 2 more. Last one. Resting the foot, bending the left elbow. We're going to bring the forearm back to the ground, right forearm parallel. Re-engage inner plank. And when you're ready, we're going to press our way up into our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees. Chest chin to the ground, elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press the ground away, lift the hips. Downward dog. Walk it out, nice and easy. Coming to stillness here, we're going to inhale the left leg up, looking forward this time. We're going to step that left foot forward into lunge with control. And then we're going to drop that right knee down on top of the toe. We're going to walk the left foot to the very outer edge of the mat so that both hands are inside the foot. And again, we can use our block here if we wish. We can bring the hands onto the block just to feel that space into the front of the body. So again, disengaging, stretching into the front of the core here. Feel that space in the hip. And again, if we want to go a little bit deeper into that hip space, we can walk those hands forward. Again, just make sure you still feel that stretch into the front of the right hip. You might need to shift that right knee back a little bit. Left knee stays stacked over the heel. We might even come on to one forearm or two forearms on the block. Allow the head and neck and shoulders fully relax here. We might even come a little bit deeper. So depending on where those hips are at, don't force it. And it's not about getting close to the ground if you start to roll up and actually compress into that hip space and into that belly. I want you to feel stretched into the front of the body. We're going to pause here for about a minute. So I want you to find a space that you feel comfortable to release into. So I don't want you to feel necessarily that you're holding the pose, more so that you're releasing into that space, you're breathing into that space. Again, keep releasing that head and neck. Release the breath, nice big belly breaths. Every exhale, sighing it out, just releasing any little bit of tension we're holding on to within any part of the body, not just the hips, not just the heart. Noticing the face, just softening the face. Noticing the shoulders. Have we tensed up? Just relax that space between the shoulders. Allow the shoulders collapse. Allow the heart melt, the belly melt, the hips melt. I'm not going to stay here for too long, just enjoying that space into the front of the body. And when you're ready, we're going to tuck the chin in, gently come back up onto the hands. We're going to step that left knee back around to meet right. Bending the right knee, we're going to place it to the outer side of the mat. So again, right to the edge, both hands are inside the right foot this time. We might need to shift that left knee back a little bit more until we feel that stretch into the front of the left hip and into the right hip, a little bit into the hamstring. Again, we can start or we can stay high on the block, so we're really feeling that heart and hip space. Or if we want to just focus in on those hips, we might walk the hands forward a wee bit. Coming down onto one forearm, two forearms, or staying wherever we're at. Relax the head, relax the neck, relax the hands, relax the face. And again, just notice how this right side feels comparing to the other. Don't force it. So just because you went deep on one side doesn't mean the other side is going to be the same. And likewise, maybe just because you didn't go so far on the left, don't feel that you have to stop on the right. So just noticing, respecting the imbalances. Sometimes it can be just how we slept or how we were sitting. But if it's something that starts to develop into little niggles, or if it's something that's continually a lot tighter on one side and the other, then we really need to start paying attention and respecting and working into that space. But for now, just release. Don't battle through it. Just breathe into it. Nice big belly breaths, and even using that belly breath, we feel an extra little bit of release into that hip space. Just a couple of more breaths here, we're nearly there. And then when you're ready, tuck the chin in. We're going to come back up onto the hands. We can remove the block out of the way. Tucking the left toe under, coming off the knee, really slowly and with control. We're going to step the right foot around to meet left, and then lift the hips, walking it out, inner downward dog one last time. So feet again are a little bit wider than hip width distance apart here. I want you to just gently rock it out here, maybe bringing a little swagger to our downward dog, rocking the hips side to side, maybe looking out underneath opposite armpits, bending into those knees. So again, just using our downward dog to get a little bit of extra space and movement back into the body. When you're ready, we're going to come to stillness and dropping down onto the knees. We're going to come to our forearms, so shoulders stacked over the elbows, untuck the toes. We're going to walk the hands forward and just melt the chest and head toward the ground. We might need a block to melt the head onto. So just taking a little puppy pose for our last pose this morning, getting a nice little stretch into the front of the body. And again, we won't hold it here for too long. I just want you to really focus on that belly breath. Bringing that breath deep into the belly, expanding through the rib cage, feeling that stretch both front and back of the body. And then when you're ready, release the arms. Tuck the chin in. We're going to slowly walk the hands back toward the knees until we come to sit back up onto the heels. And we can either finish here seated on the heels, or we can come back into easy cross-legged or any other seat that feels good for you this morning. And we're going to finish our practice like we started. Again, just noticing how we're seated. Notice if we've collapsed already. We want to really maintain that lovely strength and length as long as we can today. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling. And when you're ready, we inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out and let it go. And we'll do that 2 more times. And then slowly bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes. And just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your morning to come to the mat, to look after yourselves, to create some lovely energy, some lovely strength, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the weekend ahead. Thank you for sharing your practice and energy with me. Namaste.